Hello and good evening, everyone. Today we are going to start our session 23 of Python and Data Analytics Internship Program, October 2025. Today's topic that we are going to cover is customizing Matplotlib visuals. So in the earlier lectures, you have been gone through the introduction that what Matplotlib is, and after that you have seen that how Matplotlib basically works. So now we are going to see in today's lecture how can we enhance those visuals of uh, the data that we are plotting on a graph for so that a user can understand it way much better and way much easier. So let's start with today's session. So why customization matters? Okay, first thing that comes to our mind is, okay, if we are able to plot the graphs on a dashboard, if we are able to generate graphs based on the data that we have, then why we need to customize it, why we want to enhance its visuals or its UI. So you can take yourself as an example. If you are interacting with a website that does not have css is basically styling, or let's say if this is the ppt that I am showing you, if colors are not there, labels are not there, like icons are not there like G20, or some images like important is not there, or any formatting is not done to the task, will it attract your attention, or will it increase your focus on what is written on the slide? Absolutely not, na. You will get attracted towards the content only when it is attracting you with its UI. Okay, so and it also has a positive impact on the user. That's why customization of anything, not just the graph that you are using, anything that you want, like you are making files in your schools, okay, or in your colleges, project files, you need to enhance it so that it can grab way more marks. It can attract the user attention. It can attract the user focus to a particular point. It can increase the user attention to the data that we are showing him. Okay. So that's why customization matters a lot in data visualization or any other field also. So if we see from the perspective of data visualization, why customization matters is because of these facts. Like, it makes charts easy to understand at first glance. Okay, like as soon as you put your eyes on the chart, you are able to derive some inputs from it or derive some insights from it. Okay, it becomes easy for you to understand it when it is well organized, well defined, and well structured. Okay, so that's why makes chart easy to understand at first glance. Second is clearly explain what the chart is showing and what why it matters. As I told you, okay, the neat your visuals are, then they become that much easy to drive insights from them. Like, you are writing a answer to a question and you are writing in a very bad handwriting or not with proper headings and highlighting the important words in the answer, then it is basically a collection of words. So that what teacher will do, it will read 2 3 lines and judge the answer according to those lines only and give you the marks, no matter how well the content you have put there or how much content you have written there. What matter is the demonstration, how you are representing it. If you have underlined important keywords, okay, and if you are writing in a good handwriting, that it can clearly explain that what is your overall explanation of that answer to that particular question. So it clearly explains what the chart is showing and why it matters. Improves readability for both technical and non-technical audiences. Your audiences will not only be technical. Suppose some higher management, you are showing to some higher management, he is not well aware with Python, but he knows terms regarding industry, then basically he's a non-technical guy, then your charts become easier for him to understand. Highlights important patterns, trends, and differences. Okay, reduces confusion caused by unclear labels or cluttered visuals. So the confusion that comes from hodgepodge that we call, like uh, everything is arranged in a random manner, and it is not able to give you the proper insight as it should give. You are also feeling yourself not comfortable with the visuals that you are looking, as they are not attracting your attention. Okay, so that's why all these things comes together to reduce the confusion of unclear labels and cluttered visuals, help compare values accurately using grades and proper scales. We will see what grades are in this session only. Make charts look professional and presentation ready. The more professional your charts are, the more valuable they are. You cannot go simply to show them any random chart with not properly defined labels, okay, or title. So it's not a good thing in corporate sector if we say that everything should be professional, since you are working in a professional firm. Converts raw data into meaningful insights and stories. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So uh, to basically customize our charts, there are some certain things that we are going to discuss, like titles, labels, etc., as we go on in this session. So let's come to the first thing, that is title. A title explains the purpose of chart. It is basically the whole overview of your chart. Okay, as soon as someone sees your title, he is able to define that, okay, this chart is going to explain this thing to us. Like if you have sales versus profit or sales versus month, then and you have written the title sales over the months, so it the user can easily grab the overall idea that you are presenting him, that what this visual represents. So title plays a very important role. Okay, anywhere you have seen that title, a title is a word that defines something, whether it's an organization, whether it's a project, you have also project title, or whether it's a chart. So title has a very unique and important purpose during the representation of anything. So a title explains purpose of the chart. Syntax of using title is basically plt dot title sales report 2025. We will see in the live examples in the VS Code in a while. We can also do the formatting to the title, like this earlier we were only giving a heading to the title, but now if you want that your title should be your title font size should get increased, or use have a particular font size that you need to define, you can use the below syntax, like font size equal to 14, color equal to blue, font weight equal to bold. So what it will do is it will make this title that I have highlighted here by the green eclipse. Okay, so what it will do is it will highlight this this is the title of the graph line. It will make it bold, it will make it blue, and it increases or fixed its size to 14. Okay, so this is the example that I have prepared for you. Please refer this example in the next slide also. We are going to discuss that what labels are. So this is the title. The title comes always above your visualization that you have created. Like this is the graph that we have created, line graph. The title is coming above this. So this is the title in this visualization. Okay. So adding access labels. What are access labels? As you have might have also learned about the access in your school during your school, like there are two axes, x-axis and y-axis, when we discuss about 2D plane. In 3D plane there comes z-axis also, but we are going to deal with 2D plane, that is x-axis and y-axis. So x-axis is basically the one that is horizontally aligned, like it is in the horizontal direction, as you can see here. x axis label has written here, and this line is x, this line is y, the vertical line is y, that is straight up to 90 degree. So we call this vertical line as y axis and this horizontal line as x axis. So axis label explain what data represents. Okay, means what we are plotting. Like on on x axis, if we are plotting months, and here we are plotting sales on y axis. So they are representing that particular value of that particular variable. Like month will get plotted on x and sales will get plotted on y. We will see it in the example. So let's go through the example first. So we are in our VS Code, and today I am going to take this session 23 sales data set. It is it consists of month, sales, and profit, three columns, and of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 rows. If we exclude the above one, okay. So first, as we have done earlier, let's import this to our basically Python program so that Python can read it and understand it. If we want to import any data set into our program, then what we have to do is we have to use pandas. Okay, pandas as PD. Now we want to use matplotlib in order to plot the graphs. So we will import matplotlib also. But inside of matplotlib, we are going to use its module named as pyplot. Pyplot is used to plot the graphs by simply giving the commands or customize our visualization based on the commands. We need not to do anything. Everything is predefined in pyplot, and we only need to call the particular functions to change to modify particular things in our visualization. So we have done this thing. Now what we have to do, as we have done earlier, we have to read our CSV file. We will call the pandas alias PD, and then read CSV. Now here we will define the name of our session 23 CSV files, sales data.csv. Okay. So let's see if we are able to import it or not, like we have done earlier. Okay. So this is our month sales and profit. Here are our months sales and profit variables. Okay, we are able to import it. Now we will remove this since we have our Python is able to read it. Now, as you can see in the table, we are going to create a month variable that will store the value of all the months. Okay, months equal to df. Then we will use month column. Okay. Then after that, we are going to use sales df sales. Now let's also define the variable for profit. Profit equal to df profit. Okay. Now we have done with the initialization of our this CSV file. So what we will do is let's see how it looks like without customizing it. Okay, by plot. Now let's plot months and sales. Months, comma, sales. And then we have to use plt.show. Let's see how our data looks like. Okay, sorry. plt.plot. plt.plot. Okay. So now this is how our graph looks like. As you can notice here, we don't have any title, not the axis labels also, as we have discussed earlier. No x-axis, no y-axis. So this is how our row graph looks like. It is not attractive. If you present it to anyone, okay, please, let me zoom it a bit. Okay. Now you can easily see that this is how our graph looks like. Okay, if you put this to anyone that doesn't have any technical background or doesn't have any knowledge of data analysis, he will not be able to define that, okay, what you are plotting here. But suppose you have written a title here, sales versus month, okay, or any other title. So he may be able to derive to some extent that, okay, this graph represents the comparison between the sales as per the months. Okay. If you have written access labels also here, so like here you have written sales, so it will, the user will easily able to read that, okay, these are the sales per month and these are the months of the year that we are going to compare. So, customizing the visuals enhances its readability, its attractiveness, and the amount of information that the user can drive it by just looking at it. Okay, so that's why customization of any visual becomes very, very important in data analytics or in any other field. You have to add some more information to it so that you don't need to explain each and everything. User can read it and get understood easily. Okay. Okay. Then now this is how without customization our graph looks like. Let's go to uh, furthermore and customize it a little bit. Now we will use plt dot plot months. We are again going to plot it and sales. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add title plt dot ti months sales report. Let's add this title, and after that we have to show our graph plt dot show. See, now a title has been added above this graph, as you can see here, month sales report. Now you can easily see this and derive an insight from it. Okay, this visual represents the sales report per month. Okay, so now you have defined the title here. You can also add font size to it or color equal to blue. See, the color is changed to blue. Okay. So these are extra things that you can add to make it more attractive. Font weight equal to bold. I think font weight spelling might be wrong. VE. Spelling is okay. So the we have taken B capital there, but B should be small. Okay. So this is bold. Now you can see that it is getting bold now. Month sales report is getting highlighted. Okay. These are the things that you can use to change its color, font size, font weight, etc. But as you can see, our visualization is now more informative as comparison to our previous version. Now I have also talked about adding labels. So let's try and add labels in this example only. Plt dot for adding label you have to use x label Okay. On x-axis, we are going to use our label as months. And on y-axis, we are going to use our label as sales. And label sales, or you can also write in lakhs. Let's see now what changes are being. First, look at this graph. I'm going to run the program. Let's see what changes are being made. Months. Okay, spelling mistake again. BEL, not BLE. Okay, now it's good. Now you can see that on axis, on x-axis, we have got months written here, and on y-axis we have got sales in lakhs. So user can easily understand, okay, these number represent lakhs, not thousand, not crores. We are comparing in lakhs. So in January our sales were like 100 lakh. Okay, in January. In Feb they got increased and get went to up to 110, like sorry, in Feb 120, like this. Whenever the intersection come, you can compare this report. So you can easily see that in April our sales were the highest. Okay, this is how x-axis and y-axis level are being defined, and title is being defined. So let's move to the PPT and let's see what other things are there to define in this visualization. So we have done with adding titles, we have done with adding access labels. Now let's see what legends are. Use legends only when multiple lines or categories exist. Means when you want to plot two or more things on the same graph. Like in this example, you can see one is blue line, which is representing y equal to x value, and there is a orange line which is representing y equal to 3x. So there are two different types of entities that we are trying to plot in the same graph only. Two different comparison. In the comparison that we have seen, sales versus month, we are doing only one comparison, that is between sales and months. We are not comparing it with any other thing. But here we are comparing two values, that is y equal to x and y equal to 3x. You can suppose like sales versus month or profit versus month. Okay, when you try to plot two things on the same graph, then you need to define that what line represent what entity. Like here blue line is representing y equal to x equation and yellow line is representing y equal to 3x equation, so that the user is able to define which line represent which thing. You have seen in T20 one day matches also, when there is a comparison between the two teams run rate versus their over. So like blue line is representing India and some orange line is representing South Africa there. Okay, so there is a comparison between two teams on the same visual. So in order for your understanding that you may know which team is at which point and which line represents which team, legends are used there. We call these things as legend, this box as legend, which gives the user information that what this particular line represent, what this particular line is representing which team. So simple syntax, plt.legend, we have to use it like this. Plt.legend, title equal to product lines, location equal to upper left. This is the location which define where this legend box should appear, where here or somewhere else on your visualization. It's up to you. So we will see it with one more thing. Let's move to the next slide. Changing colors, markers, line styles. Okay. Styling improves clarity and engagement. As I told you earlier, common options are red, blue, green. You have to use small r only in order to use red color. You cannot use capital R. Python is case sensitive. blue, green, and this is hexadecimal coding. The You can find it on Google. No, you don't have to remember all the hexadecimal values for particular colors. Okay. Line styles is of like this: one dash, simple line basically, or two dash, dash dash, colon, or this dash and dot. It's up to you which line style you want to use. Markers, like these are the things that are used to highlight something. We will see in the example. uh, okay, before moving to grid, let's deal with these things first in the live example. So now let's see how to add legend. We will see in this example only. So we have added our x title, x label, y label, and now we are going to plot our legend. Let's see what this function does. Remember here, now we are only comparing sales and month. We are not comparing two entities. We will see it later on. First, to give you the understanding what legend does is, let's see. Writing no artist with labels found to put in legend, not artist whose label start with an underscore are ignored. So why this is happening? Because now we are using only one thing here. Okay. Now let's go to adding two entities. But if you are able to see, we have a little bit change in our visualization. As you can see, I have zoomed it a bit. Here a small box has appeared. Okay, this box is our basically this box is where our legend information will get displayed, or this box is where this box is where our legend information is getting printed on the visualization. So now let's deal with adding one more comparison to it. Let's move to the next so that you can easily able to relate the differences. Copy this code, paste it here. Okay. Now what are the changes that I am going to make? We have plot plt.plot months and sales. Okay, and now I'm going to use one more thing here, label equal to sales. Now let's use profit also. Plt.plot, we are going to compare profit versus months. Okay, profit over label equal to profit. Okay, this is done. Then we have defined our title. Let's change the title also so that you are able to see the changes. Let's make it sales versus profit. Sales versus profit. Now X label is months, Y label is amount in rupees. Okay, and plt.legend and plt.show. Let's run it and see what are the changes that are happening. Now here you can see it. I Let me zoom out a bit. Okay. This is how our graph looks like. Earlier, our graph was like this. Okay, we have defined the legend here also, but you can see this box appear since we are not comparing two or more entities. But you can see here that this box is getting filled with the names that we have defined here, sales and profit. If you change this there, then they will get changed here, sales and profit. Okay, that's why we have used label in this also. Please don't get confused this label with X label and Y label. They are different. They appear on the X axis and the Y axis, but when you use plot and comparison between something and you define a label there, it comes in legend. Okay, so blue line represents sales over the months, and this yellow line represents profit over the month. You can see it here, or you can compare it as Team India and South Africa. So this is how legend help us to make our visualization much more informative as compared to this previous one. Okay, so that's why legends play a very important role in all these comparison when we have two or more entities in the same visualization, and it happens very more often as compared to other things. So legends are very useful. Now we have to see about color changes that we were discussing in that slide. So let's see how they are done. Let's see in this example only. How can we do this? Okay, let's start here. So let's use the color equal to whichever color you want to use. You can use red if you want. We can use red, color equal to red, because earlier we are having blue. You can use marker as we have seen. Marker. Okay, spelling is right. And as a marker, let's use this. Or we have seen line style also. Line style. Okay. Line style we are going to use. Let's use dash dash, and label is as it is. Okay. Okay, now let's use the same thing here also. Color equal to green, and then we can use marker. marker marker equal to let's see, let's use simple s, comma, line style equal to let's use simple dash. Okay, line style dash, label equal to. Let's see what changes are being done in this graph. Oh, let's come copy this and run it in another code shell so that we can compare it later. Now you can see from where we have got where. This is our simple graph with title, X label, and months. Then we have applied some more styling to it, and we have legend here with two entities in one. Now we have come to this highly advanced as compared to earlier visualization. This line is being represented by single dash dash, double dash 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 as we have written here, and this is simple line. What marker is? A point that highlights where entities are being aligned. Like in January, this much sale was there. In February, this much sale was there. In March, go this dot to go to this dot, and then move horizontally towards this. You will get the comparisons. And this line represents our profit. These are the profits. Green line represent profit. As you can see in legend, it is providing us the information. So this is how styling is being made, applied to our visualization. Now our visualization is much more informative, much more attractive, much more structured, much more cleaner as compared to our earlier ones. Any user can see it and define, okay, what is the comparison being made, in which month our sales were the highest, in which month our profit is the highest, in which month our profit was the lowest, our sales was the lowest. Everything can be derived from this graph only, means this visualization. So this is how we apply styling to our graphs. Okay, let's move to other things now that are left to cover in today's session. Next thing is grid lines for better readability. Grid lines help compare values easily, like this square thing that you are seeing behind the graph. Na? This is basically the grids that we call. Syntax for grid is plt.grid true. Yes, we want to see the grid lines. If you want to change the color of grid lines, then you can use grid color equal to gray or any other color that you want. Line style equal to dash dash, as we have seen. Line width equal to 0.5. It depends on you whether you want to use it or you don't want to use it. After grid lines, we are going to see changing figure size and layout. Changing figure size and layout is like I have. Let's see with the example. For now, just remember, use when labels overlap or chart looks crowded. Okay, whenever your chart is getting crowded, means one thing is coming upon other thing. Okay, then you define the size of your visualization, as I have to sometimes zoom in, zoom out to in order to get a full view of that chart na? In order to define its size, in order to fix its size, we can use this figure size. So the syntax for this is plt.figure fix size. You can define it 8 by 5 or any other size that you want. Tight layout is used for layout adjustment. Like fixed size is basically used to define the size of the visualization that is appearing on your screen. But this tight dot layout plays a very important role, although its changes are not visible to you. But what it does is, any value that you have written on the graph, like let's see in this code only, sometimes this thing overlaps here, or this sales in lakhs come up the numbers, or anything that get overlap, text overwritten one over one another or slightly aligned over one another. So this tight layout helps separate those things. When you define that function na, your things in your visualization, your information, your headings will never overlap with each other. Python will take care of it. Okay, so let's see it with an example. Let's copy all these changes that we have done till now and move to another code shell, paste it here. Now let's see what we are going to do is we are going to define grid now. Okay, okay. So in order to define the grid, we only have to use plt.grid, then make it true. plt.legend we are using. Let's see what changes are being made in the graph. Now you can see that our graph is like this. Some square boxes are coming behind it. Why it is important? Because you can easily compare the values. Earlier you have to hit and trial, okay, I am dragging this line here and then this line here, but in the grid you can simply see that, okay, this 0 is completely aligned with this, means this value represent 120. Now you don't have to guess on your own. You can Python is going to help you with these grid lines to make things easier. You can also define the color if you want, like color equal to let's see which color we use, blue. Now grid lines is becoming blue. Okay, so it depends on you how you want your visualization to be get represented. Now let's see about the fixed size and all things. Now, in order to customize grid lines, I have done this. Also, if you want to make it more attractive, but let's not do it. You can change the line style also, like line style equal to dash dash. But you have to see one thing here, like this. Okay, you can see another line style also, like dash dash dot, if you want. Now dash dash dot has become this. So it depends upon you how you want to use the grid line and the styles. Okay, now let's see about the fixed size. So about the fixed size, PLT. Now we are going to define our graph size. Fig. Now figure fixed size. Fixed size equal to 8,5. Let's use this. Okay. Now let's see what is happening. Run it. Now you can see I haven't zoom in or zoom out. I haven't done it yet. You can see the difference between the size. This is the size of our visualization earlier. Now this has increased to this. Okay, this is how fixed size is going to adjust the size of our visualization. It depends on you how you are going to use it. Like let's use 5. Now it will become a square. Like this. It is getting reduced. Okay. It's totally your own creativity how you are going to use this fixed size in order to define the size of your chart. So this is how fixed size works. Now I have told you about one thing also. Use tight layout. You should have a practice of using it so that things do not get overlap on one another. So you can use plt dot tight tight underscore layout. Okay. As you can see, no visible changes, but okay, this is how it looks like earlier when we use tight layout. Then it is going to increase a little bit. It is going to basically increase the size a little bit, but things are not getting overlapped on one. Earlier also they are not getting overlapped, but sometimes it comes a situation in graph that some things get overlapped with each other, but this tight layout function prevents that. Okay, so now let's see from the top. Earlier our visualization looks like this, complete plain, not informative at all. After adding the title, we are able to derive that okay, this is about this, but we have added x-axis and y-axis also, but it is not as representative as we want it to be. So after that, we have defined the legends, comparing two values, sales versus profit. In that also, we have applied some styling by using line style, marker, etc. After that, we have applied grid lines. Then we have applied fixed size and tight layout. This is how our final visualization looks like. So we have come from the basic to this highly advanced and very informative visualization. We have covered this. Now this is a complete code example. You can use if you want to experiment with different things. Okay. Now for your assignment for today's session, your task is to create a styled line plot with title, X and Y axis label. You can use any data set you want. Legends, grid lines, custom colors and markers. You can use any color that you want or marker that you want. Dataset suggestions that I have prepared for you are you can use month versus temperature, days versus steps, how many steps you have walked on that particular day, year versus student enrollment, how many students are getting enrolled per year, or you can find any other dataset that is available online. From anywhere, whichever data set you want to use, you are free to do so. But please use this title X and Y axis label legends gridline customs. You have to upload those basically what we call visualization with the code on this uh, Google form link. If you want any help and support, please contact us here. And thank you for joining today's session.